past midday on the 9th of October 2015, and we're heading out for an overnight wild camp again. This is my first one of this half of the year after the shortest day of the year, so it's been a couple of months now. So it's a beautiful day. It's probably about I would say 15 degrees at the moment. It's a bit hard to tell because it's hot inside the car, and we had an overnight of 3 degrees, so we're not fully out of winter yet, even though it's virtually like a summer day today. It was supposed to be 5 degrees overnight, so I'm expecting tonight to be cold. And we're heading out to my favourite spot again at Tutaekuri River. So I'm travelling the Puketapu Road at the moment. Just turned onto the Dartmoor Road. But this time, instead of walking down the river to the place where I usually camp, I'm going to walk upstream about 4 kilometres to a new place. The benefit of the new site is that there's a youngish pine forest there, and so my plan for today and tonight is to wild camp in the pine forest, something I haven't done for a number of years. A lot of the commercial pine forests in New Zealand now are cut off from public access, but this one, although the front entrance of it isn't cut off to public access, I'm going to go in through the back block by going up the river. So that should ensure really that I don't get interrupted by anybody. It's a really hot midday today, so I'm betting that out on the shingle it's going to be hot hiking up the river. I was actually here just over a week ago to do a wild camp, but it didn't work out because it was basically 2 days after we had 2.5 weeks of rain, and I didn't even think about it. I was just in such a hurry to get out and camp again and hike that when I arrived at the river, everything was sodden wet. There was no dry tinder anywhere, and there was silt covering everything. The river had come up during that 2.5 weeks, and it had raised probably about 1.5 meters over its normal flowing height for this time of the year. So it was very swift, very muddy, and about 4 feet deep. So there was no way that I was going to be humping a 17-kilo Bergen across the river under those conditions, especially since I had a whole bunch of camera gear with me. So I spent the morning there. It was a beautiful day. It virtually hasn't rained since then for the whole week, and we've got another week of dry weather, sunny weather ahead of us this coming week. So today's the perfect day to be coming out for an overnight. It'll be really warm all day. It'll be cold overnight, but that's not going to bother me. So the plan is, even though I have my hammock, I've got a new inflatable mattress I want to try out, so I'll be sleeping on the ground which is one of the reasons why I want to come into the pine forest. Try out this mattress, because when we go on the South Island hike, we'll, most of the time I think, or a good deal of the time, we'll be sleeping on the ground. There won't be anywhere to pitch a hammock. So I want to get my ground dwelling system sorted out. This means I also haven't, because it's not supposed to rain tonight or for the next few days, I haven't bought my new 3x3 tarp. I've bought my basher for two reasons: because it's not supposed to rain, so good coverage isn't such a big deal tonight, and because the basher of course is camouflage, and I'm intending to be a little bit more stealthy about where I'm camping today, mainly because, well, that's my intention anyway, mainly because the place where I'm going to camp, I've not been upstream there before, so I don't really know what to expect as far as how exposed I'm going to be to local farmers realizing that I'm camping on the riverbank. So should be a fun time. 4 kilometers upstream, and nice to have you with me, and I hope you enjoy the scenery.
If I could bottle the smell of the wetland after the rain, and make it a perfume, send it to your house. If 1 in a million stars suddenly will hit satellite, I pick up some pieces, they'll be on your way. In the far land across, you standing at the sea, then the wind blows the sand, and that lit a star is there to guide me. If only I could find my way to the ocean, I'm already there with you. If somewhere down the line we will never get to meet, I'll always wait for you after the rain. So if I could bottle the smell of the wetland after the rain, make it a perfume, send it to your house, yeah. 1 in a million stars suddenly will hit satellite, pick up some pieces, they'll be on your way. In the far line across, you standing at the sea, then the wind blows the sand, and that lit a star that guide me. If only I could find my way to the ocean, I'm already there with you. Somewhere down the line we will never get to meet, I'll always wait for you after the rain. follows the scent, and that little star is there to guide me. If only I could find my way to the ocean. I'm already there with you. Somewhere down the line we will never get to meet. Always wait for you.
Beautiful, beautiful day.
After the only I could find my way to the ocean. I'm already there with you. Somewhere down the line we will never get to meet.
So just remembering
Always wait
that this spot on the river is only like a 20-minute drive from the city that I live in, but it's completely in the rural country. Gorgeous place to fish. So I've also bought my spinning line out today to get some fishing done. Beautiful place to camp. I'm a bit curious about how the river's been altered by the floods recently. I was just talking to a guy back near where I've left the car who fly fishes here for brown trout, and interesting guy to talk to. One of the things I've been curious about this river is whether or not there are actually any fish left in it, and he said he quite regularly catches 2, 3, 4 pound brown trout in this river, so that's something to look forward to. And near the car park too, because he never really walks the river and doesn't come here to camp, so he was giving me a bit of advice. So we're in the general area where I want to be now. And the forestry is just up around this corner. You can actually see through the willows. You probably can't see it on the camera, but through the willows you can just see the first few pine trees at the back of that forestry block. So I've only got about another 200 or 300 meters to go, 400 meters maybe, till I'm at the place where I'm going to look for somewhere to camp. And I don't think I'll be having a fire immediately because I can hear some guys doing fencing up behind me somewhere, and if my sense of direction is correct, up behind me there is Sacred Hill Winery's Dartmoor vineyard. So there's probably vineyard workers doing their winter repair work on the rows of vines. A little island just here. That's one of the main landmarks I recognised from the Google Earth map. So yeah, that didn't take too long. What did I get here? About past 12 at the parking lot, and I'll check the time just shortly and let you know how long it took me to get here. this bush here. You can see the one in the background with the white fluffy spears sticking up. It's what the Maori call toi toi. And the stuff at the base it's kind of like New Zealand's equivalent, you might say it's New Zealand's equivalent to birch bark. The toi toi is a cutty grass, and when it dies off at the base, those blades of grass are as thin as paper, bone drying, perfect for tinder. So this is where I wanted to be, and this is exactly what I was hoping I'd find. This is the back of the forestry block, pine forest. Unfortunately though, this bit of the forest, the floor of the forest is covered in blackberry. It's going to make it a little bit hard to find somewhere to camp. Hello again, welcome back. So I've got my basher pitched, got some wood for the fire. Not sure how long it's going to last, but you know, I only want enough really to cook dinner and to boil some water. I'm out of water now, so I have to resort to drinking beer until we get to the point where I can light a fire. So I'm knackered. It's quarter past 4 in the afternoon. So we've got about 3 hours till sundown. Three hours ish till sundown. And so I'm just going to have a blob out, read a book, have a beer, maybe have a bit of a nap because I'm knackered. I worked out it probably took me about an hour to walk that 4 kilometres, so I'm going to have to check again on Google Earth just to make sure the distance was correct. It probably should be 4 kilometres an hour, and but it just seemed to be not take as long as I expected. So I've collected some water, which I'm going to boil as soon as the fire's ready, and waiting for my mattress to inflate itself. Yeah, all good. And it's according to the thermometer, which I had sitting on my pack while I was collecting the firewood and getting everything ready. It's 25 degrees out here. And there is a bit of a breeze, which is why I decided not to pitch closer to the river, but to pitch in here amongst the toi and the gorse, where it's a bit more shaded from the wind, and anybody passing by reasonably close to here on any of the farms, pretty much they're not going to see me because I've arranged things to be as hidden as possible. even though there's been a big flood in the river over the last 3 weeks, the river bed hasn't changed that much from upstream from what I could see on Google Earth satellite pictures. So I think I crossed the river about 4 or 5 times today. I filmed each crossing, so when I'm editing I'll look back to see exactly how many times I crossed, and I'll put that just below here. Looking on Google Earth, if the river had still been the way it was when those photos had been taken on Google Earth, I would have only had to cross the river 3 times to get here. So things are obviously a little bit different now. This is definitely a good place to camp. It's a pity I couldn't have camped in the pine forest, and from what I could see in there and talking to that farmer today who was driving down the back of the block, I think they were rousing cattle from off the riverbank. There's no chance of actually getting in there and camping without the possibility of being growled at by the owners. So that's out. But fortunately, like I said, I'm just about to buy a new car, and once that happens, then I'll probably be doing very few camps on the river until summer gets a bit more serious, I think, and I'll be going further afield. I want to go up into the state forest, into the Kāweka State Forest, and camp there. And there I can camp in pine forest, so that'll be fun. And I want to go down the coast, south down the coast from where I live, and camp on a couple of beaches there. And like I've said previously in one of my recent videos, at the end of November, a mate of mine from the South Island and another mate from America who lives in Indianapolis, they're coming here just at the end of November, about the 25th, and I think about the 26th, about the 27th, we'll be heading down the coast to stay on a beach for 4 days and 3 nights, I think, or is it 5 days and 4 nights at Porongahau. So that's something to look forward to. It's a beautiful beach. It'll be right at the beginning of our summer, still building up to the longest day, but at that time of the year, late November, early December, the temperatures are, you know, standard high temperature during the day is around 23 degrees or so, so that'll be really good. Light packs, taking lots of food, and doing a lot of fishing, surf casting off the beach, and there's a big freshwater stream that runs down onto the beach there, so we'll probably do some freshwater spinning and maybe some line fishing at night for eel, so that'll be interesting too. And it's a really good look at what sort of some of the beautiful remote beaches that we have here in New Zealand that few people know about, and they're only really visited at the height of summer, which here is about the middle of February. That's the hottest part of summer here, and for the rest of the year hardly anybody ever goes to them. and they're beautiful world-class beaches, as you'll see when you see the footage from that. So right now really these camps that I've been doing recently have partly been testing gear for our 2017 hike in the South Island, but also at the moment me getting all my kit sorted out for this 4 or 5 days that we'll be spending on the beach at Porongahau. So everything's sorted now, my sleep system's all sorted, my shelter's all sorted, and my loadout weight, I think I've got that all dealt with now, my cook system, and basically my pack, my clothes, all of that's all been tried and tested now. And this is like pretty much one of the first camps where I'm not really testing anything out at the moment. I'm just here enjoying myself for the day, doing a bit of fishing. The only one thing I had to test today and tonight is my air mattress. My X-Head ultralight air mattress. I was pretty skeptical. I've never used one before, a self-inflating mattress. I've always pretty much just slept on a ground sheet on the ground, and I was very skeptical that it would actually work and like actually cushion my body, but I was having a bit of a kip on it this afternoon after reading my book, and it definitely does, even though it's only 2.5 centimeters thick, it definitely does cushion your body. And so, you know, that's the last bit of kit that I had to sort out, and I'm really happy with that. It's a 3/4 mattress, and it folds down into a very small package about the size of a loaf of bread, and weighs about 400 grams I think, which is excellent. One of the reasons why I wasn't originally going to get an airbed and just do what I could to sleep in a hammock all the time was because I was concerned that airbeds took up too much room in my pack and weighed too much. But I've been proved wrong, and I'm happy about that. So it's just about sundown now. The sun has actually gone down behind the hills. I've probably got about 30 minutes to an hour at the most until it's blackout here. So I'm just going to cook some dinner, watch the fire for a while, and then go to sleep. So we'll be back in the morning, which will be only a couple of seconds for you guys. Been a great day. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the morning. end of another adventure. 6 river crossings this morning. A bit more difficult than they were yesterday. I think the level of the river's come up a little bit higher. But I didn't get dunked. So with a bit of careful navigating and slow crossing, that's 6 crossings back to the car without incident. So thanks for joining me again. Hopefully the next camp will be on a beach just south of where I live. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, like, share and comment below. And any questions you have, please feel free to ask.